Hey guys, salut, it's Alex. So today I want to give you a quick update on what's happening inside my own fridge. You know, the beef dry aging thing. I will also take advantage of this video to share along a few priceless and useful tips I learned the hard way, because yes, something's wrong. Just a few days after I set everything up, I had to make a few modifications to the system in order to make it more practical and more efficient. The fan inside was running on an external USB battery because I wanted maximum insulation. The problem, it couldn't last longer than a day, so every now and then the fan would stop, then I would have to change the battery. I can do better for sure. I am now using a USB wall charger and it's tapped on the side of my fridge. It's running 24/7. A collateral damage, I had to cut a notch in the seal of the fridge door, which I think is not a big deal for the sake of science. In terms of temperature, dry aging beef should be done between 0 and 4 degrees Celsius. The best would be 2 degrees Celsius. Higher, not like 5 but more like 10 degrees Celsius, means there is a strong risk of product spoilage. But the lower temperature isn't that good as well, as if the meat is frozen, the dry aging process just stops. Problem, 2 degrees Celsius is almost impossible to reach with a domestic fridge. Kind of a solution, I guess. I turn my fridge to its maximum cold setting, and I get an average of 4-5 degrees Celsius this way. Side effect is that I also get some really cold spot, like in the very bottom of my fridge, meaning that my sourdough really struggled to proof, and my fruits are frozen. But for the sake of science, again, I think it's fine. Because I needed to check on the meat regularly, and also because I had to film it, the door was very often left opened. Which, problem, is nothing but bad for temperature stability. Solution, every time I would do so, I would also add a few ice packs in there, just to cool it down more rapidly. It works great, but side effect, it also concentrates all the moisture through condensation. For the sake of science. When you start something new, I guess you always have to overcome challenges along the way. And it's part of the deal, I really enjoy this. I am glad we solved the first 3 problems, because trust me, those are nothing but appetizer regarding the next one. Once I did those modifications, everything was running smoothly for a few days, but at some point I noticed a slight increase in humidity. I thought it was normal. It is not. I thought it would stabilize. It did not. Let me give you some context. Humidity when you are dry aging should stand somewhere between 80 and 85%. On a scale going from 0, where it's like a really dry cake, to 100, it's like the jungle. The thing is, if you go higher than 85%, there's a risk of spoiling the meat. And if you go lower, there's not a big risk, but you might end up losing too much meat at the end when you're gonna trim your cut. So I checked the meat. It doesn't smell bad, it doesn't look bad. However, it's not going the right way, and I can feel it. I have to fix this. We have to fix this. You're in it now. First, I am plugging the ventilation holes. I don't know, maybe with air circulating between the fridge and the machine, I am trying to dry out the whole fridge, which could rise up the humidity. Doesn't work. Now I'm thinking the holes might be too small on top of my box, so maybe the system doesn't get enough airflow. So I'm cutting much bigger holes. Doesn't work. I had another idea and I found a way to increase the airflow to make it more powerful. You know what? Things went even worse. Humidity skyrocketed to 99%. And even weirder, if I were to stop the fan, humidity would go back to 80%. So I thought maybe I should leave the fan off. For many reasons that sounds wrong, so I texted my dear butcher. I know I gotta do something, and I gotta do something quick, because basically this is a time bomb. The thing is, I don't know where to start. Okay, I say we give the box a thorough clean. Maybe it will just help us out. I removed the drippings collector. The kitchen paper was dry and clean. Then I touched those silica gel packets, and there it is, the source of my problem. They were soaking wet, like literally there was a puddle of water underneath. I got them out immediately. I closed the door, I put the fan back on, and the humidity dropped at 70% in a matter of minutes. So I guess we are safe now, but let's just understand what the happened. Silica gel is a desiccant, meaning that it absorbs all the humidity from the air around. The thing is, it's not magical, because once it gets saturated with water, it basically behaves like a wet sponge. The ribeye is 2 kilos 130 grams. Knowing that meat is approximately 80% water, that makes us 1.7 kilos of water to get rid of. Luckily for us, we only have to dry out the outer layers, which transform into a waterproof barrier after some time. Let's say we need to dry out a 1 cm thick layer on each side of the 10 cm thick ribeye. That's 20%, so 340 grams of water. So I used 200 grams of silica gel packets in the first place, which can only absorb 35% of its weight in water. So basically, with the first setup, we were able to absorb 70 grams of water, which is slightly off considering we needed 340 grams. It's not a big deal. I went back online and ordered a kilo of desiccant, which is exactly what we need, and I placed it in the fridge. With that new setup, our humidity has dropped drastically. Yes, to be honest, a bit too much, as we are now at 40% humidity. I'm gonna leave it like this just to counteract the initial mistake. But afterwards, getting rid of those is not a bad thing, because they also produce an exothermic reaction, meaning that as they absorb water, there is a slight amount of heat happening in my box. Everything is now back in line, so I don't see why there would be any problems from now on. If you like this food adventure, then please give it a like, thumbs up, and share that over your social media, you know, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, why not? Spread it like butter. Also, people click subscribe, because I make new videos every week, and if it's always about food, it can be a recipe, it can be a vlog, it can be an experiment, or it can be a DIY like this one. Take care guys, bye bye, salut.